There is an ancient proverb that says, "The man who refuses to release yesterday, loses tomorrow before it arrives." Most people think pain destroys a person. It doesn't. What destroys a person is carrying pain long after the moment has passed. Long ago, beyond forgotten mountains, there stood a quiet kingdom where a person's honor was worth more than gold. In that kingdom lived a young man named Kai. He was known for his kindness, his honesty, and his love for his father. His father was not a wealthy man. He owned no land beyond a small farm. Yet people trusted him more than they trusted the richest men in the kingdom. Then, everything changed. One autumn morning, a wealthy merchant rode into the village. He claimed that a pouch of royal gold had disappeared. Without proof, without witnesses, he pointed at Kai's father. Fear spread faster than truth. And before the sun had set, the village had already chosen who to believe. Kai's father was never sent to prison. He didn't need chains. Shame became his prison. The people who once greeted him now crossed the road to avoid him. Friends became strangers. Neighbors became silent. Every day, the old man grew weaker. Then one cold morning, Kai found his father sitting beneath an ancient cedar tree. The old man looked toward the mountains and smiled. "My son, there are wounds that no medicine can heal." They were his final words. The next morning, the village bell rang before sunrise. Kai's father was gone. Standing beside the grave, Kai made no sound. His tears disappeared. His sorrow became silence. And his silence slowly became hatred. Looking toward the distant mountains, he whispered, "One day, I will find the man who did this." He believed he had buried only his father. But he was wrong. On that day, he also buried his own peace. 20 years passed. The boy who once cried beside his father's grave had become a man feared across the kingdom. Kai mastered the sword. He traveled through deserts, crossed frozen mountains, and walked roads where few dared to go. But wherever he traveled, he asked only one question. "Have you seen the merchant?" Some pointed east. Others pointed west. Every answer led to another journey. Another season. Another disappointment. His search never ended. One evening, as the sun disappeared behind the mountains, Kai stopped beside an ancient stone bridge. There sat an old hermit, watching the river in complete silence. Without looking at Kai, the old man asked, "What burden has brought you this far?" Kai replied, "I am searching for the man who destroyed my father." The hermit finally looked into his eyes. "And what will you do, when you find him?" Kai answered without hesitation, "I will make him suffer." The old man said nothing. He simply smiled. The hermit reached into the fire beside him and picked up a burning piece of wood. He held it tightly. The flames burned his hand. Smoke rose into the cold evening air. Kai stepped forward. "Old man, let it go." The hermit released the burning wood into the river. The fire vanished instantly. Then he asked, "Tell me, who suffered more? The fire, or the hand that refused to release it?" Kai remained silent. The hermit continued, "For 20 years, the merchant hurt you only once. But every single day since then, you have continued hurting yourself." The river flowed quietly. Its water carried the ashes far away. The hermit stood. As he disappeared into the morning mist, he spoke one final sentence. "If you truly wish to find the man who stole your life, Stop searching for him. Kai watched him leave. For the first time in 20 years. His heart questioned the path he had chosen. 3 days later. Kai arrived at a forgotten village. There, sitting outside a broken wooden house, was an old man with trembling hands. His clothes were worn. His eyes were filled with regret. A villager whispered, "That is the merchant." Kai's heart began to race. This was the moment he had waited for. For 20 long years. His hand slowly reached for his sword. The old merchant looked up. The moment he recognized Kai, tears filled his eyes. "I knew this day would come," he whispered. "I stole your father's honor. I gained wealth, but lost my soul. My family abandoned me. My friends disappeared. And every night, I relived the day I destroyed an innocent man." Kai stood without speaking. The sword remained in its sheath. Kai closed his eyes. He remembered the burning wood. He remembered the flowing river. He remembered his father's final smile. Slowly, he stepped back. The old merchant lowered his head, waiting for death. Instead, he heard 4 words. "I choose to let go." The merchant looked up in disbelief. Kai turned away. As he walked toward the rising sun, he said, "I carried my hatred for 20 years. But today, I refuse to carry it any longer." The old man wept. Not because he had escaped death, but because he had witnessed true strength. There is an ancient proverb that says, "The chains that bind the heart are forged by anger, and broken only by forgiveness." The greatest victory is not taking revenge. The greatest victory is refusing to become the person your pain wanted you to be. Sometimes, the strongest thing you will ever do is simply let go.